So in my last video, I talked about the devastating news that I had gotten from a phone call late one night that my daughter's best friend had overdosed and passed away. And all this occurred while she is still waiting for her court date to come up, and she's in jail. So now I have to make a decision whether or not I should tell her, give her the horrible news while she is in jail. And I just don't know what to do. It seemed like it would be very cruel to tell her that someone she cared for deeply was no longer here while she was locked up. But then I thought, well, news does travel to jails, and what if she hears the news from someone else there in jail? So I decided that it would be the right thing to do to go ahead and tell her on our next phone call. So the next night, she called me, and I told her I will never forget the scream that she let out, and most of our phone time was just of her crying uncontrollably and saying, no, Mom, no. And I said, yeah, it's true. She only had so many minutes to talk every night. And she hung the phone up, and we really didn't exchange very many words at all. The next night when she called me, she was still very, very upset. And the fact that she would be still incarcerated when her best friend service would be held. So she asked me, would I write a letter, and would I take it and put it in the casket with her best friend. And I told her that I would. So she told me what to say, and I wrote it down, and I sealed it up. And when I went to the visitation, I asked her mother if I could place it in her casket, and she told me that I could. So that's what I did. On my next video, I promise that we are going to talk about my daughter's court date, which finally does arrive, and what happens next. Did you know that 1,600 people die every day globally from drug overdose related deaths? Do you know that breaks down to 67 people die every hour, every day from drug-related deaths. Please join me in my movement. I believe that the only way to bring these numbers down is, first, we have to end the stigma surrounding addiction so that more people who are in need of treatment will be more likely to get it. Drug addiction is not a moral failing. It is a disease, like any other disease. It requires treatment and long-term management. Treatment, not judgment.